everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left. I'm in love with the nightlife. When we're in the limelight, makes me feel like everything is gonna be alright. I'm in love with the nightlife. When we're in the limelight, makes me feel like everything is gonna be alright.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you had a wonderful Monday and a wonderful holiday weekend. We are back with a new show. We had technical difficulties last week, so we didn't have a show, but tonight we get to air our interview with Emmy Award winning Katreese Barnes. Found about her amazing career and everything she's done. This woman has a resume. If you don't know her name, you definitely know her work. Then in Hot Topics, we're talking about everything everyone's talking about. Cardi B tried to trademark saying that she has. I can't do it, but she tried to trademark it. Find out what happened when she did that. Then we know Disney announced that their new Little Mermaid is going to be Halle Bailey, not Berry, but Bailey, who's on the show Grownish. And a lot of races have come out, and they are pissed, just to say the least. But we're talking about all that and much more in Hot Topics. Then, of course, Adam and Chike are bringing down movie reviews, sports, fashion, movie reviews, the best indie music. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and, of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. When we come back, Hot Topics, right back after this.
Staring at the ceiling, girl, you a winner. How many licks just to get to your center? When I beat that batter, girl, I'ma fry them cakes with a cast iron skillet. You wake up, oh, we gon' get it in. I'ma give you my love. We gon' turn this bedroom to a kitchen. Baby, let's get up there. Oh, you can't get away. Stop playing, girl, give me them cakes. Rolling, girl, between the sheets we rolling. Nothing better than love in the morning. I got to have breakfast in bed. Squeezing and teasing. If you put it in my face, I'm eating. Nothing better than love in the morning. I got to have breakfast in bed. Go hard like this all day. It feels so good when we shake and bake. up your toes and you grab my hand. This is the sound when we making man. Wake up. Oh, we gon' get it in, get it in. I'ma give you my love. We gon' turn this bedroom into a kitchen. Let's get up there. Oh, you can't get away, get away. You gon' get in my bed. Stop playing, girl, give me them K's.
I'm booked on Friday. She worked all week. She still trying to make my shows. She not watching me. She there to watch them. Cause she trusts her. And the raw is how she feel. It's so raw the way she no glove, that means she f***ing with you. Never ask for one or nothing, just say two. She see the money, but she pay too. And every interview questions, I be wanting to say you had your own shit. I can't say I saved you. Your pop's the only man can say he made you. I'll play myself if I ever tried to play you. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. She say she feel it all in her stomach. I follow you, you lead the way. Cardio the way I gotta run it. I follow her, she follow me. No social sites, this reality. All these comments got her mad at me. Be blind to these hoes, you ain't gotta see. They fans, baby, they just gotta speak. All they got is the beat. Why you getting beat? They in tune with cocky, but you know streets. The only George's watches 10s that we throw in Magic C. Them strippers, girl, I want a piece of you. Wear wood, canoe, just do it like Nike, baby. You own this bitch, gon' copyright it, baby. They want what you getting, plus that head pulling like a transmission. All mouth, no hands in it. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. She say she feel it all in her stomach. I follow you, you lead the way. Cardio the way I gotta run it. Tonight's the night. You got the real thing. She pulling my dreads, biting my chains. She rolling the stendos, my on the stendo. She blow me like the cartridge on a Nintendo. Plays calling, I want this to end though, but she on 10 though. Drop the keys, go ahead and bend over. Go ahead and bend over. Girl, drop the keys, go ahead and bend over. Full cut like I'm in love with it. She ain't been the same since a thug hit it. Full to it dry, swell up. Grab her neck and tell her shut, roll up. She love that freaky stuff. I ain't seen my yet. She always eat it up. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. I'm coming, then we both coming. I follow you, you lead the way. She say she feel it all in her stomach. I follow you, you lead the way. Cardio the way I gotta run it. I follow you, you lead the way.
Hi, this is Trina Broussard, and you're listening to my new single, Where I'm Supposed to Be, on the Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how was your 4th?
I don't celebrate the 4th, so I had a great weekend.
Yeah.
I had a great week. I had a few days. My friends and I celebrated Juneteenth. June 19th. But I won't, go into too much in details. I think I may have spoken about it on one of our shows. But we celebrated the independence of African Americans that were finally free from slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy to have some days off. I'll take whatever days they can give me. I don't care what they call it or what title.
Right.
So I had a 4-day weekend. Spent most of it in Chicago. My cousin Ricky and Mel was there, and then got to see Ryan. So overall, a great weekend. It was really a good weekend.
It's good. The weekend was cool. I actually had a cookout at my house on the 4th, and I did celebrate Juneteenth as well. But I definitely get it. I actually felt bad after I posted Happy 4th, and I read someone's post. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that does, But anyway, so I just liked it. But I had a cookout, and then I hung out with some friends throughout the weekend. Had a good time. Went to a birthday dinner. Have you ever been to Nomas?
Yeah, I've been. Mel used to live across the street.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I went there. Just hung out with friends mostly. But it was a cool weekend. It was a cool weekend. Good, like you said, a good time to have off, a good break. We had a long weekend, so can't complain. Can't complain there. Chike, how was your weekend?
My weekend was cool, but that actual date I went to work.
Okay.
We have a policy at my job: if you work the holiday, you can use that holiday day 30 days before or 30 days after the date. So I strategically worked it so that I could have off, in the future.
That's good. That's good.
Take me a little trip.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, our question of the day is: what is something you're looking forward to, Ms. Parker?
Honestly, I think that I'm the type of person who looks forward to every single day.
Yeah.
I get excited about growth. I'm excited about opportunities. I'm excited about. I know for a fact how much of a blessing just simply being alive and well is.
Yeah.
So I don't have these big milestones that I look forward to, because I think life is meant to be lived in the moments that we normally don't pay attention to, the small moments, the small joys. And I think that's why I keep a gratitude journal that I write in every day, because it reminds me that nothing big has to be in the horizon for me to be excited about being alive.
Yeah.
That every day is a blessing, and there's gratitude should be found in every day. So just the next day to see what it brings. And, we at work have a busy week. I'm going to power through it, and next week will probably be a little slower. But, each day comes with its own promises and its own light. So just grateful that I even get to experience it.
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, I also feel the same way, but I am looking forward to early next month. My sister and her husband and her in-laws, they're flying into Virginia, where we're from, and then I'm going to meet them there. My oldest brother's flying in, so we'll all get to have like a little reunion again, which will be good for the weekend. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, look forward to seeing my dad. I haven't seen him since Christmas, and my brother and my nieces and everybody, so that'll be great. What about you, Chike?
Oh, a few things, honestly. We have a family reunion coming up this month as well.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to that. and I'm finally going to meet one of my musical inspirations, the end of this month. Mr. Van Hunt is coming to the city, and he promised me a sit down for conversations with Chika Evans.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm a little nervous because this man musically is like everything to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
we know you'll kill it.
Yeah. I'll jump into gear. It'll snap together. And then in August, Faith is coming to town.
Oh, nice.
So, I always hang out with her. It's always a good time when I hang out with her. So
yeah.
Looking forward to that.
That'll be awesome. All right. Well, tweet us at home and let us know, what are you looking forward to? All right, so hot topic. So, over the weekend, Disney announced that Halle Bailey, not Barry, but Bailey, she's the sister, one of the sisters that are signed with Beyonce. Anyway, she is going to be the new Little Mermaid. And as you all know, the original mermaid was white, and she's black, and so it spawned the hashtag Not My Ariel. And people were making racist posts about that, saying that she's not black. They even had one said they had a Facebook fan page, make Ariel white again. And Facebook took that down. But I know we posted about it, or even on our Instagram, and someone commented I would have joined that page. But anyway, so Disney is sticking by their decision, of course. They said that although the first Ariel was Danish, there are black people that live in Danish, and she could have very possibly been black. They're also Freeform is the network that Halle plays on. She plays on Grownish, which is a spinoff of Blackish, and she's on that show as well. Her and her sister. And Freeform also put out a post, supporting Disney's decision and congratulating Halle. What are your thoughts that we live in 2019 and it seems like we're going backwards when it comes to racial situations? What are your thoughts on that, Ms. Parker?
I just don't understand why we're giving it so much energy and giving negativity so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
These are the same people who elected Trump.
Yeah.
For them being upset over a black actress playing a make-believe character who's not even real.
Right.
There's no mermaid in real life. This is all make-believe, so it can be whatever color. The fact that they are upset about it, I just think sometimes social media and we people on social media, we give things energy and power that should not have it. They can make whatever hashtag they want, but we've made it more popular by reposting and talking about it, and I refuse to do that because I'm not going to give them any power, any platform. These are the same people. I'm not surprised by it. I mean, people actually they're so shocked. These are the same people that elected a bigot in office.
Yeah.
Like, racism is part of our society still. They elected somebody who is outright racist, outright homophobic. I mean, if they can do that, to me, that's the lowest of all low.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're upset about a movie character does not surprise me, but I think that we need to stop giving the platform and just move on. She has the role. This is not changing their mind. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
And congratulations to her, because I think we're giving them more power than we're giving attention to the fact that she's just made a big break into her career, and this is something that's going to change her life. She's just voicing the part too, which is really odd that they are upset that it's literally just her voice. Not just, but it's her voice. So the fact that they're upset over someone whose voice is used, it's ridiculous. So I think we should focus on the fact of her accomplishment more so than what they're saying.
Yeah. Chika?
So that part, I do agree with Ms. Parker about it is just her voice. It's an animated character. The character is still going to be white, or Danish, excuse me. I think that Disney was making an attempt to be, for diversity.
Yeah. Which
is good. It's all good and everything. But wouldn't it have been more interesting if they did another Little Mermaid story and Ariel met a friend who happened to be black and she happened to be a mermaid too? Wouldn't that have been a more interesting story? And you introduce a whole new character with a whole new identity, and you didn't have to go through you putting someone or someone claiming affirmative action. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see me on this character by having someone of color, in the shoes of Ariel, because Ariel is still going to be a Caucasian mermaid at the end of the day. So I don't get it. I really don't see the hype.
Yeah.
It's a woman with a job. She just happens to be of color.
Exactly. I mean, it said. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chica.
No, I was just going to say, Disney, if you listen, a better idea would have been to create a whole new character. If you really wanted diversity, create a whole new character. Like, remember Princess Tiana? She was black. Everyone loved her.
Yeah,
you made a whole lot of money off of her, too.
There was a post saying that they should redo that movie and cast a white girl. I mean, people are just ridiculous.
See, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So a white girl posted online something about Disney made movies from 1930 to 1997 or whatever. I forgot how long it was, and not one black woman was cast as a lead character. They couldn't see themselves on the big screen. It's about time that these roles, and they saluted. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I was gonna say, wasn't Whitney Houston the first person to introduce a black character in Disney World?
Yeah,
wasn't she the
Cinderella?
first?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, she was. Yeah. Well, there's a post, if you look on our Instagram, it has a picture of Chloe. It's a cartoon of Chloe, and the original Ariel has her hand on her shoulder, and she said, "Go ahead, girl. You got this." So, I mean, I think the good thing about when we see this kind of hate, we also see a lot of support too. And it shows you that although there are a lot of racist people out there, there are also some good people out there. So, congratulations to you, Ellie, and congrats on the movie. All right, so a black teenager is dead, all because some Caucasian man, he was afraid of the music. 17-year-old Elijah Almeen was stabbed several times in the back with Michael Paul Adams' pocket knife before having his throat slit inside a Peoria, Arizona Circle gas station. Adams, recently released from prison, he readily admitted that he did kill Elijah because he heard him playing rap music in his car. He told the police that rap music makes him feel unsafe because he has been attacked by people who listen to rap music in the past. The record states that he also said people who listen to rap music are a threat to him in the community. The suspect also felt threatened by the music, not the teen himself. So he decided to be proactive rather than reactive. That's what he told the police. And, of course, they're saying that he's mentally ill, and they think that he'll get a lesser charge because of that mental illness. What are your thoughts, Parker?
I mean, I think it's just, it's obviously sad and unfortunate, but it's the climate that, that has been created by 45 being in office, by Trump being in office. We had another case of this happening about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where the boy in Virginia, I believe, was I can't remember his name. Rest in peace, the young man. But his mother is now in the city council.
Yeah, I think it was in Florida.
And it was in Florida, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I mean, obviously, it's racist and it's horrible, and it's been going on for generations. And this is what we mean when we say, okay, we don't celebrate the 4th of July, because we're still frightened to be seen as equals. We're in a space of constantly having to be on edge because of just the color of your skin has somehow become criminalized. So it's just too many layers to it. I don't really have a set opinion on it. Obviously, I just think it's tragic to his family, and so rest in peace to the young man, and keep his family and in your thoughts and prayers, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Chike?
So I guess to this gentleman, rap music is to him what the hoodie was to George Zimmerman.
Right.
Basically the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sad and it's deplorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad and it's deplorable. I don't have really too much else to say.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And as Ms. Parker said, our thoughts and prayers with his family and friends. It's disgusting. All right, so a recent lawsuit. Check this out. So there is a Asian family And on the lawsuit, their names are AP and YZ. They didn't give their full names. But anyway, according to CNN, they got married in 2012 and decided they wanted to, start a family and have children. But they had trouble conceiving, so they spent over $100,000 for IVF services, including facility, the doctor fees, specialist service, medication, lab expenses, travel costs, and whatnot. So they live in New York, but they found a clinic in LA that's called Cha Fertility. So they get pregnant, and they had the embryos are formed, and it's 4 of them. They're all female. So they noticed something was off when they went for their ultrasound, and they were told that she was pregnant with 2 boys. But they gave birth to the babies. Then it finds out they're not theirs. They mixed their embryos up with someone else. She gave birth. Then they took the babies away and gave them back to the rightful owners. And the clinic doesn't know what happened to their embryos. Isn't that crazy?
What?
Yeah, and they're not even Asian.
I was watching the war news. Apparently, that happens often as far as them losing embryos and not labeling them correctly. The only reason she even found out was because the babies end up being different ethnicity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But apparently, from studies that this happens quite often.
That's ridiculous.
I think it is ridiculous but you're dealing with people, human error, just like any other industry. But I do think that I feel like them. I feel bad for them, obviously, because she went through a lot, and being pregnant is not something that you just do willy-nilly, especially if you had so much issue getting pregnant.
Right, yeah.
It's
emotional.
Issues, suffer a lot of emotional pain with fertility issues. That's one thing, so I want to acknowledge that. But since it's happened, I'm the type of person, okay, it's already done. How do I move forward? How do I heal from this? I think that it would be a good thing that if obviously she needs therapy, but suing the mess out of the hospital is definitely, something that I would do as well. But I think maybe look at it as her way of blessing somebody else. She wasn't able to keep the babies, so obviously the people that she had the babies for were having the same issues. So I think sometimes we're used in a way that our human mind and emotions have a struggle processing, but it's divinely ordered. Maybe that was that person's purpose on this earth, is to help somebody else, bring the happiness and baby to somebody else's life. So I think working through our emotions, I think we need to find the light in this situation. The babies are healthy and they're born fine, and they were given to by legal law. They were given to the biological parents. Hopefully, she can process that and come out of it in a positive light, and maybe try again figure out how she can be a mother herself. But she is a mother. She was able to give life, and she was able to help somebody else who could not bring life. So I don't know.
Yeah. Chica?
Phew. Oh, so I agree with what Ms. Parker said, 100%. But I do see moving forward that there will probably be another step in this whole process of insemination. And it will probably be like a midterm DNA test, right? And that moving forward with other couples, just to make sure that this doesn't happen again, to make sure that you have your seeds or embryos. So what happens when you're pregnant and they do the test and they figure out in your pregnancy that the babies don't belong to you? Then what? I'm not a fan of tampering around with stuff like that. I'm really not. I understand that fertility clinics have done great works for people who cannot have children, and it is a godsend to them. At the same time, for me, it's tampering around with nature. And sometimes things are just meant to be. Adoption, there's a whole bunch of kids in the adoption system that need homes, and everyone probably wasn't meant to bear children. That's just my thought. Because moving forward, what would happen to those embryos if they find out in between conception and birth that those embryos don't belong to you? What would they do? How would you handle that? And that opens up a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, I can only imagine how the family feels. I do agree with Ms. Parker as well, but I know that, we don't. The woman, it been her. She's tried so hard to have children. She spent all this money. We don't know what they had to do to come up with the money. It's just an emotional.
It's not even that, Stephen. When women are pregnant, they already bonded with that baby.
Exactly right.
They're already attached.
It's like a death. Taking those babies away from, it's like a death. I mean, yes, she blessed the other family, but to her, it's a death because she bonded for this baby for 9 months. These babies, and now they don't have them. So, but I hope that they're able to have their own children, either conceive them or adopt, and get their family, what they want it to be. But they definitely need to sue, and they're doing the right thing by suing. And they need to come up with something that this doesn't become a common practice. You know what I mean? If it's happening more than we think, then they need to be looked at. Because it's emotion.
I think that the clinic should have their license taken for that. That's horrible.
They didn't release a statement to CNN. All right, well, our last story. So, according to The Blast, Cardi B is being blocked from trademarking her most famous catchphrase. Okay, you know that one. I can't do it. I can't remember my tongue. But the U.S. Patent and Trademark officials denied her request to profit off of her slogan by explaining that Cardi's slogan falls under the category of widely used commonplace expressions and did not fit the bill to deserve a trademark. They also noted that occur is a slogan or term that doesn't function as a trademark or services mark to indicate the source of the applicant's goods and or services, and that it does not distinguish itself from other similar marks. Reasons such as Kardashians being associated with the phrase over the years allowed the officials to feel justified in their decision to label it as a common phrase. Now, it was said that Cardi had planned on using the catchphrase to include on paper goods, cups, posters, as well as clothing line featuring pants, shirts, and hoodies. Do you agree with their decision?
I mean, I don't know what all the categories and the requirements are. So I think this is, I don't know if I have an opinion on this because if they have rules and that's how they qualify, I don't know. It's just all dumb. The fact that she even wanted to trademark it is stupid to me. But I don't really have an opinion. See what Chica has to say.
Okay, Chica.
So I think that she should take them to court. She should take them to court and she should fight. I just saw something on Reuters News maybe a couple of weeks ago. There was a gentleman, he was fighting to have his trademark, which is fucked, and it's F-U-C-T, and it basically, he created it in adverse to freedom of speech. And they denied him the first time that he applied for it, and he kept on going back. He got some lawyers, and it took a while. Actually, it took a couple years, and he wound up actually getting it. And now he has merchandise with, that word on it. And it basically, and he's marketing it as, it's your freedom, it's my freedom, it's everybody's freedom to be able to say whatever you want or to be able to trademark something original that you came up with, that's your right to be able to do it. And he finally won. And in the same vein, I think that Cardi B should be able to do okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Same difference to me.
Everyone knows her for that. You know what I mean? They even have Pepsi commercial, the Super Bowl commercial, they had her using it in there. I do think she should fight it. I think it's a smart move to actually try it because she can make money off of it. You know what I mean? Like it said with the merchandise she was going to create. So I think she should fight it, but we'll see how it plays out.
For example, remember the beer commercial? What's up?
Uh-huh.
They trademarked that. Everyone says what's up.
Exactly. Well, listen, before we go, I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and, of course, our official website, thestephenknightshow.com. You can also check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. When we come back, our interview with Katreese Barnes. Stick around. Thank you, Ms. Parker. See you in movie reviews, Chica.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Right back after this.
Break it up, roll it up, light it up, break it down, break it up, roll it up, light it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, yeah. Roll up, light it up, yeah. Put it in the air any day of the week. I don't care what you say, I love my trees. I rolled up a week of smoke, you know it's that gas. I run through these backwoods like a finish line, yeah. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. And not you, you're not me. We can blaze up, I got trees. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. I'm not you, you're not me. We can blaze up, I got trees. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Smoke a whole pound in a day, smoke a whole pound in a day, yeah. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, yeah. Face, pound in a day. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, yeah. Face. Face. Smoke a whole pound in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, it's a work day. Nothing like cookies in the afternoon on a Monday. Tuesday, train wreck, wait with a Wednesday, hell yes. Gorilla Glue, number 4 Thursday, straight OG on the weekend, I pray. I rolled up a week of smoke, you know it's that gas. I run through these backwoods like a finish line, yeah. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. I'm not you, you know me. We can blaze up, I got trees. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. I'm not you, you know me. We can blaze up, I got trees. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Smoke a whole pound in a day, smoke a whole pound in a day, yeah. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, yeah. Face, pound in a day. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, yeah. I rolled up a week of smoke, you know it's that gas. I run through these backwoods like a finish line, yeah. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. I'm not you, you not me. We can blaze up, I got trees. You got weed, I got trees. We can match up, I got trees. I'm not you, you not me. We can blaze up, I got trees. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Break it down, break it up, roll, hold it up, light it up. Smoke a whole pound in a day, smoke a whole pound in a day, yeah. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face, yeah. Face, pound in a day. Smoke a whole ounce in a day, smoke a whole pound straight to the face.
Let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Great mood, all the models on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose, I can't feel my face, that's phase 2. Phase 2, let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Great mood, models all on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose, I can't feel my face, that's phase 2. Phase 2.
Okay, like life of the party, getting loose with a 10. She a sucker for the wine and his juice in the gin. Where's P&T? Cause you usually with him. And I flex on these like I moved in the gym. She came through, her crew tagged along. It's going down like it's after prom. You heard me, that equals 3. Either that or my math is wrong. She ride me till the taxi comes, until the point that I go numb. And that is so dumb, you would've thought that I was blonde. Then I'm leaving, money is the reason. No sleeping, keep women feeding in a hotel. Year round, that's 4 seasons. 4 seasons? You ain't ballin', you a rookie, got a playin' hooky, now you off. Got the blush your buzz and Woody when you found out what her pics are. But I do know one thing now, they come and go. Hey girl, you know your role, get new, take loose, let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Great mood, all the models on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose, I can't feel my face, that's phase 2. Phase 2, let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Great mood, models all on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose, I can't feel my face, that's phase 2. Phase 2. Girl, I'm faded. Girl, I'm faded. Just took another loot. It's so amazing. So amazing. Sorry if I'm rude. I'm famous. Nah. This conversation, I don't know what I'm saying. Nah. Took another loot. Now I'm on stage. Every night is a model or an actress. She coming home cause you know what status. She call me king, had a bling in the palace. Then give her the beds on my mattress. And she know these other just practice. I'm the greatest, beat it up like Cassius. Prima Willie made a movie called The Blackfish. Every time we do it, it's a classic. Kid up, turn the bed to a casket. You funny if you think the song average. Wait a minute, damn, you think the song average?
Wait a minute, did you think the song average?
Then she said, wait, I ain't trying to hate, but the song sound like Replacement Girl. I said it's cool, guess who likes it more? Ooh. You're a replacement girl. You're a replacement girl. You're a replacement girl. You're a replacement girl.
Let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Great mood. All the models on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose. I can't feel my face. That's phase 2. Phase 2. Let's take another Quaalude. Quaalude got me feeling in a great mood. Models all on that Grey Goose. Grey Goose, I can't feel my face, that's phase 2. Phase 2.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guest tonight is a 2-time Emmy Award-winning musician. So far in her career, she's done so much. She sang background for Sting, played saxophone for D'Angelo. She was the pianist and music director for Saturday Night Live. Wow. Just to name a few of her accomplishments. Please help me welcome super talented Katreese Barnes. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey, nice to be here.
I mean, I was reading over because, you know, one thing it says in your bio, if you haven't heard the name, you've definitely heard your work, and you've done a lot. So tell us kind of how you got your start, in the industry.
Well, it's a long journey.
I can imagine.
That's like almost like the Exodus, you know.
You're right. Yeah.
But I mean, I started like teaching myself music at first, and then that kind of evolved into taking lessons. Then that kind of evolved to being a part of a kids band, and then we got signed early on, which brought us to New York, and then we started meeting people. And back then, it was kind of easier to connect to people and work in the studio and work live, and it was just a different scene.
Yeah.
So it was easier to make a name for yourself, I would say. So it was through that journey that got me started. Is the best way to explain it.
Do you think back then, you know, obviously there are a lot of talented artists now, but do you think back then, I think people put in more work because they could sing, they could play, you know, write, you know, and now you have a lot of like I said, they're still talented artists, but you have a lot of people that are kind of like microwave artists. You know.
Well, what it is the standard will dictate what you have to strive for.
Yeah.
You know, and so our standard was like Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, Stevie Wonder,
exactly.
People who were multi-instrumentalists, you know, and you know, or vocalists who were just over the top vocalists.
Right.
They were just auto-tuned, you know. You know, so therefore, that was your standard.
Right. Right, that's true. Yeah. So that the bar was already up there, so you had to meet them there and bring your time.
That's right.
So
or people wouldn't even take you seriously.
Oh, right. They wouldn't waste their time. They wouldn't waste their time. Yeah. Who was the first well-known person that you worked with that we know?
You may not know him, but he produced all this Kool & the Gang stuff.
Okay.
Umir Deodato.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He wasn't super famous, but he was like the first person who groomed us and introduced us to people.
And how did you start working with him?
We were working with these songwriters in Baltimore, and he accidentally played the wrong side, believe it or not, of a cassette, heard our stuff, and was like, who are these kids? And brought us to New York. It was like really the luck of the draw on that one.
So was it a group of you all? Like, were you in the...
Yeah, me and my brother, and we had a band at the time. It was like a kids group.
Nice. So then, in 2000, you started working on Saturday Night Live. How did that happen?
Well, that's the same evolution I was telling you about, where you develop a reputation through the field. People know what you do. One of the guys who'd been there for years knew that I play piano, that I could read classical, that I could read music, I could play soul music. So, and then I auditioned, and I got the job as a piano player, but the music director part was kind of an evolution that's kind of complicated, because I just kind of fit in the slot when, you know, people weren't happy with somebody else's work and that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of fit in when an opportunity presented itself.
Let me ask you a question. So, like I said earlier, you know, if people don't know you as a household name, they definitely know your work, right? Do you feel like that? Do you miss having that household recognition? Like they know your name?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay. Yeah.
Well, only in the sense that it provides marquee value.
Yeah.
So if I were to go down to the club and say, "Hey, I want to play with my band," people are like, "Well, who's she?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I would like to play with my band, but it's like I have to do all of this work to get people to remember or even recognize who I am or what I've done. Or, you know.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone starting off and wanting to have a career even close to yours, you know, at this point? Because, you know, things are different, obviously, now. But what advice would you give an up-and-coming artist?
Well, I would still kind of follow a similar motto. I found a lot of people to be lazy. Like, I've been working with some people lately, like, you haven't learned how to program in Logic or Pro Tools yet? Mm-hmm. Like, they graduated from Berkeley.
Right.
And I'm like, wait, I never went to college, and I can do these things. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm saying just don't be lazy. Learn the stuff.
Put in the work.
Yeah. And you know what? It will pay off somewhere. Because, like, even I tried to hire somebody to do a vocal session recently. Mm-hmm. I was like, can you record these vocals at your house? She was like, no, I don't have it set up. I'm like, every singer now should have it set up and be able to record at home. There's no reason not to.
Right.
And that's extra money. You just never know when that will pop up.
That's true. So
that's an example.
So you think people these days, they don't learn the full business. They just learn one aspect of it. Okay. That makes sense. Let me brag on you just a little bit for people, because I keep saying that, you know, we know your work. You produced on Grammy-winning Woman I Am album by Shaka Khan, Grammy-nominated Roberta Flack, her album. We said you had 2 Emmy wins for SNL, Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics. You've recorded with Sting, Diana Ross, Billy Joel, Luther Vandross, Alicia Keys, Carly Simon, Jewel, Bette Miller. I mean, you've done it. So I just want everyone to know the caliber. You've worked on the Rosie show when she got picked up on OWN.
Yep.
I mean, what do you think at this point has been the highlight of your career?
Ooh. I don't know. It's like...
It's a loaded question.
I feel like every 5 years I get a new surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, like last year I got an honorary doctorate, and I was like, wow.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
You know?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I was like, that was a big deal for me to go back to that school and get that. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's like they pop up, and you're just like, I can say one of the first ones was, I think Chaka Khan was like one of my biggest idols vocally.
Yeah.
When I got that opportunity to produce her and being in the studio, I was like, I can't believe this is real.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I can't believe I'm here as much as I played her music. So that's an example of many highlights.
Have you had a job, because everyone thinks, you get in the industry and you work in these jobs, working with these artists and of these high caliber, and everything's just gravy. Have you had a job that you just didn't like, or you thought maybe wasn't a good fit for you? Have you had something like that?
Oh, yeah. Many.
Oh.
I hung in many of them quite a long time, even when I wasn't happy, but because you learn something even when you're not in the best situation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, many.
And I know you're a lover of different genre of music. What's on your what do you listen to these days?
I think I will always be a lover of jazz, especially certain jazz artists. Like, I think I always keep Ahmad Jamal on my the turntable. Really on my the word is now playlist.
Yeah, playlist.
You know, because I can always listen to him, feel rejuvenated, feel relaxed. You know, like it varies.
Yeah.
But I would say someone like that. Yeah.
And so, on a personal note, you're a cancer survivor. How did that experience? Well, first of all, congratulations on beating that. And how did that experience? How did that define you or change you after going through that?
Well, it's a wake-up call to wellness. Like, because I believe once you get cancer, you can always get it because your body produces it. Okay. So I became kind of like obsessed with wellness and learning things to prevent it and take care of myself, and so it was a wake-up call in that way.
And you did natural and alternative therapies. You didn't do any chemo or radiation?
No, I did alternative versions of it, but early on. But I did do some I did do some medicines. I'll say that.
Okay.
It wasn't all alternative. Yeah.
Okay.
Early on, I didn't do that though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you hear so much about that. So when I read that, I was that had me curious. Yeah.
I could write a book about that alone, like what not to do and what to do. Oh God, because I've seen a lot of people die from alternative therapies, and I've seen some people thrive. So I could write a book about that part.
Yeah. And how long have you been cancer free?
Well, I've been thriving for 19 years.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
huge.
You.
That's huge. So what's next for you?
Well, I think you know about my Welcome to My House show.
Welcome to My House show, yes. Welcome to My House show,
yes.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to build that. I do my little gigs, my corporate gigs, my jobs, get hired for this and that, So, but right now, Welcome to My House is my baby.
Let's talk about that. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring that up. Welcome to My House. I love the concept there. Tell us about that.
Well, the idea is to create a platform of the kind of artists that I grew up admiring, the ones that we were with that musical higher standard, and because I wasn't seeing it in the top 40 in the amounts I'd like. I mean, every now and then you hear something go, "Oh, that's badass."
Yeah.
But so it started from that.
Okay.
Idea. Yeah.
So let me ask you. So the Whitney Houston estate announced that they're going to do they're working on a hologram concert where they'll have her original band and singers.
Wow!
But it'll be a hologram of her performing. Is that something?
Wow!
What do you think about that? It's got mixed reviews.
Well, as long as the person's not alive, when people start doing that and they're alive, I'm like, wow.
Right. Yes.
Come on, you can't get out of bed?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. They did one.
I mean, I understand the whole idea of creating like an experience.
Right.
You know, if someone's no longer alive, and you know, I kind of get that, and then everybody kind of knows what they're getting.
Right.
But when you start doing that and you're alive, it's kind of like, okay, really, guys?
Right. Yeah, because they did one for Michael Jackson in the past. They did one for Tupac, but those weren't well received. And so I'm curious to see. It's supposed to come out next year. It's going to be a tour next year.
What I'm hoping happens is very similar to the organic food movement, where people really just kind of turn around and go like, no, I want the real experience.
Exactly.
I really do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anything else coming down the pipeline for you?
Well, nothing huge. I mean, I'm doing this. I can't even talk about it because we're not supposed to talk about it till after the fact.
Okay.
But I do this corporate gig every year that's pretty big, but I can't really talk about it.
Okay. Well, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, tell everyone where you have a lot of followers on social media. Where is the best way to keep up with you?
Katreese.com or Katreese Barnes on Twitter.
Okay. Well, listen, Katreese, it was so great getting to know you and learning about you. Again, this is a name everyone needs to know because you've done so much in your career. And I just want to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to join us tonight.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
All right. Well, listen, our thanks go out to Katreese Barnes for joining us tonight. For more information, please go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com, and we're right back after this.
It's so funny how things change. We were so close, but then you slipped away. Now I'm losing my baby, it's driving me crazy, and now I'm about to go insane. The hell am I gonna do? Can't do this thing without you. Thought forever was on, now forever is gone. And baby girl, I'm missing you. Took you on shopping sprees when all you really wanted was time with me. Eyes wide open, but I could not see. Just know if ever you give me a chance, I'm giving you all, giving you all, giving you all, giving you all. I said I'm giving you all of me, giving you all, giving you all of me, giving you all, giving all. When I was struggling, you held me down. When I was slipping, girl, you stood your ground. Anytime I felt lost, always gave me real talk. You helped me be a better man. Then this music finally came around. I'm flying high, but you ain't leave the ground. The shit I put you through, the hell am I to do? Cause baby girl, I'm missing you. Took you on shopping sprees, when all you really wanted was time with me. Eyes wide open, but I could not see. Just know if ever you give me a chance, I'm giving you all of me, giving you all, giving all, giving you all of me, giving you all, giving all, giving you all of me, giving you all, giving all, giving you all of me, giving you all, giving all. I ain't gonna stop, no. I ain't gonna stop, no. I'm giving you all, giving you all, giving you all,
B, hold up. Hello?
Yeah. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. Get that product cooking in the bando. I keep a shooter, keep them hands low. Hop out that Ferrari like I'm Rambo. Say a prayer, your fam gon' have to light some candles. My hand on the work, I should have an office job. And I am the boss, so how you gon' cross the mob? Skeeter O'Neil, now that's what I call a lob. Covered with one of them, that's what I call a prob. I've been scooping in the Lambo. Pitching on my block while I'm the landlord. Pay your fee, that's what I stand for. I play the key, you take shots like the backboard. The day I punched in, I was born on the job. Now the inside guts look like corn on the cob. Food on the plate, catch it at dinner meal. Bowling like Centerfield. Please get this kid a meal. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I gave him more than they can ask for. Big stick, similar to Jim Duggan Axel. Big whips, call me SOR. Yeah, I'm that boy. SV, call him Escobar. With them tracks, boy. I can't say sorry, I make you fellows mad. And can't stop me, I'm like a yellow cab. And just for that, I might cop the yellow Jag. I never left, but it's like you could tell I'm back. Got about 220 on the dashboard. With a cup of Henny, that's the crash course. For the drop, I keep a mask for it. And the Glock, like I shot with the task force. I'm making my name, you should call me monumental. I studied the best, you can't even find a temple. Like I'm tapping them bags, every dime I mention. You can't even find a signal. You don't know the grind I mentioned. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. Product cooking in the bendo. Product cooking in the bendo. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old. I whip it up in the pot, I'm getting rid of them old.
This is Stephen Knight, and you listen to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to The Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how was the weekend?
Weekend was really good, just had a kind of extended holiday weekend, so stayed in town, but enjoyed the weather.
That's good. All right. Well, I'll let you and Chike take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw two films since our last discussion, and the first one was Yesterday, which is a film by Danny Boyle, and it is the alternate kind of storytelling of this musician who isn't going anywhere in his life, and he gets hit by a car or a bus, and there's a power outage, and he wakes up in a world where the Beatles don't exist. And so he starts performing some of these songs, and he becomes this huge hit star, and it explores what happens going on there. And overall, I thought it was a fun movie. If you're a fan of the Beatles, this will remind you of previous films like Across the Universe, where they just kind of do their version of the Beatles stories or the Beatles songs. It's got a lot of funny moments, and it is a romance movie. Lily James plays his interest in the film, but I think they did a really good job, again, going over what would happen in a world without Beatles. There's also other things in this world that don't exist. And it's not much of a spoiler, but for example, one scene, his mom brings him a Pepsi, and he's like, "Mom, do you have any Coke?" And she's like, "What's Coke?" And so Coca-Cola doesn't exist in this universe. And that's never explained, but again, that's not the point of the film. It's just, what would you do if you learned that the top musician or the top band in history didn't exist and you knew their songs, and you can become a star from it. So if you're looking for a fun, lighthearted movie with some good Beatles music in it, definitely check it out. And the next movie I saw was, of course, the #1 movie over the weekend, over the holiday weekend, I should say, Spider-Man: Far From Home. So this is, of course, another Marvel movie and the first film after Avengers: Endgame, and a sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming. And this follows Peter Parker on another adventure. This time he's going on a class trip to Europe where lots of things go down. I don't, if you've seen the trailers, you kind of know the new other characters, Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And if you're a fan of superhero movies, you're going to like this one anyway. But yeah, again, it's another Spider-Man movie. He learns a little bit more. He goes through his kind of arc. And I thought it was mostly fun. It was not as good as Homecoming. Mysterio did a great job, and Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job in his role. But there were a little bit more cheesier elements. But overall, again, if you're looking to kind of finish out, and according to Marvel, this is the final film in their Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then this one will kind of wrap up everything. It explains a little bit about what happened in Endgame, and goes from there. So, everyone thought it was great because it's smashing box office records. It'll probably be the first Spider-Man movie to hit $1 billion. So if you're a fan of those, check it out.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying it was interesting. The first movie you reviewed, my boss told me she saw it and she thought it was so great. She said something happens, it made her cry at the end, but she went. We said, "Don't tell us," but she thought it was really good. And it was interesting because the director was on CBS this morning, and they had to get clearance to use the Beatles music, and because it's a group, you have to get clearance from each member. Each member that's alive,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he said that they all said yes, and they thought it was a funny concept, the world without the Beatles. You know what I mean? And they didn't take themselves too seriously, and they actually they like the concept. And I heard Ed Sheridan does a good job in there too, as well.
Yeah, he would probably be like the other main character. He's in it enough that he does a great job. And I like his songs that I hear on the radio, and so he kind of plays a version of himself that's pretty comical at parts. So he's worth it. And also, it's the budget of the movie was around $26 million, and $10 million of that I think was just for the rights of the songs alone. So,
wow.
I can believe they said yes because they were probably going to get a big taste.
Right, exactly. And people will go back and download those songs. But
exactly, it's going to put it back on the radio.
Exactly. The lead actor, he actually sang all those songs live. He said they didn't pre-record anything. He sang it live on.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he said that it was right after he met Ed Sheridan. 10 minutes later, he had to sing in front of him and how intimidating he was. But yeah, I thought I want to see that movie. But yeah.
Yeah, you'd like
it. I guess what's interesting to me is I wonder if this movie would have still been made if Michael Jackson was still alive, or if his family still owned the rights to that music. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think they needed the money, so yeah, I would say so.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, I saw Annabelle Comes Home, which is a sequel. Well, actually, it's the third installment to the Annabelle series, which is a spin-off of the Insidious series. And it stars Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as, the couple from all of the Insidious movies. And in this movie, you find them returning Annabelle to her glass case in their basement, after being out in the world and creating mayhem. And you discover more about Annabelle being a conduit for spirits to reach the mortal world. And as you can tell from the trailers and the previews, their daughter has a friend over, and the daughter's friend is tinkering around with their room of artifacts. If you're following the series, you know that they have a basement full of artifacts that have some way everything has been touched or possessed or in connection to some kind of demonic, spiritual, heinous badness. And she basically goes down there and just messes with and tinkers with everything. And it creates all holy hell. I'm not going to tell you, little details, but this one had me hide my face a little bit. And Annabelle was pretty good. This movie brought in just under $10 million thus far, and we'll probably bring in a little more. Was it one of the best movies out of the series? I don't think so, but you know that there's more to come. It was definitely entertaining. I do like the fact that there is a continuous story happening, and I have an affection for that. So if you're into horror, it's definitely worth checking out. Maybe scared, maybe not be. It all depends on your tolerance level. But I did hide my face on, a couple parts. And I also did see Spider-Man as well. I'll say this about Spider-Man. What I did like, Adam, and I don't know if you picked up on it, the way that they told the story, especially toward the end, was like comic book style. So it's basically you were watching a live comic book, the way that they told the story and how things, especially toward the end, how things started to formulate, and then how it ends. It's definitely like a comic book. So, yeah.
Yeah. And,
go ahead.
I would say post, and so this is the one, I usually check the mid-credit scene because I don't have the patience to wait for the whole movie to end. Mid-credits is very important for this movie, and post-credits is also very important for this movie, so I will say that. So, and it's one of the things, it's probably the most important parts of these movies, of this movie, and it's weird to say that because they usually just throw fun stuff here or little sneak peeks, but there's a lot going on in those, so definitely if you're watching the movie, stick around for both of those because it'll change your whole thought of the whole everything in the Marvel universe, so.
Yeah,
check it out.
And I like that they were dropping little dimes throughout the movie. Like if you remember when he mentioned the multiverse, remember he mentioned the multiverse, which goes back to Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. The animated movie that came out earlier. You see her. So there are little tidbits that trickle out about other films and other storylines. I'm curious to hear what's going on with Captain Marvel. If you know what I'm talking about. When he mentioned Captain Marvel in the movie. It's like little tidbits like that. These geeks, these fans, I'm one of them, so I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us. Those things will interest you very much, so pay attention. And
and from what I heard, there's not another Marvel movie until next year, May of next year. So this is kind of like they're definitely taking that pause before they start the whole next phase of these movies, so
and then there are hints around to another Avengers movie, but those people that follow the comic books, that through the years or through the history of the Avengers change faces, just like technically X-Men change faces over the years. So you're going to get another Avengers movie. It's just not going to be the Avengers that you know. So stay tuned, check it out. And the last movie that I saw was Midsummer, and it is it's labeled as a horror movie, but I'm going to just tell you honestly, I laughed most of the movie. I did. I really? Cracked the hell up. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but I found it extremely hilarious. It follows a young woman played by Florence Pugh, and she is in the midst of a trauma in her life. I won't say what it is. She has something traumatic happen, and she's in a broken relationship. And her and her significant other go to Switzerland for Midsummer. There's a festival that happens there every 90 years, and they have a friend who's from the area who actually invites them to come, and they go join in on this festival. There's a whole lot of other moving parts separate from that are leading up to them going to this festival, which are very key in why they go there. Definitely, I would suggest it. I would say go see it. The movie was bizarre. That's the best thing that I can say. It's from the same producers that did Hereditary, and if you remember, I didn't give Hereditary a great review. I gave it. I think I trashed it. And I asked them. I think that's probably one of the ones that I said I don't understand why they even used the film. Like it wasn't worth the film that it was printed.
Oh wow!
I said that. Yeah, I do believe I said that.
Sounds like you.
And this movie, though, it was worth seeing, and to the point. I was on a date, and my date bust out laughing, and she ran out of the movie theater laughing, only to come back because the subject matter that was going on in the scene was elongated, and she tried to come back, and she came halfway down the aisle, and she bust out laughing and ran out again. So, if you're going to be scared, it's not that type of scary movie. It did make me jump a couple of times, but it wasn't. It was more like the shock and surprise as opposed to scared. But entertaining, it definitely was. And like I said, I laughed my ass off. I would say check it out. Midsummer brought in $10.9 million. And they're saying that, what the critics are saying in the write-ups, they're saying that this movie is changing the face of horror. I will concur. Yes, it's changing the face of horror to comedy.
Yeah, that's the way they want.
That's just my opinion. But it is about, I will tell you this much. It's about paganism and society and how people judge based on, I guess, a vantage point of you not belonging to a certain society and being on the outside, and what that means to you being a spectator of something that you don't understand. I'll say that. I'll give you that much. And then check it out.
Okay.
And please feel free to reach out to me on social media and tell me what you think. And I actually want to see it again. I actually do.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's good to know.
Anything coming out of the pipeline?
Nothing for me new. I did want to do one more quick show that I've been watching, or we've been watching, and it's been out for a while, and I just started watching it. Schitt's Creek. Have either of you seen this show?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, it's a Canadian comedy with Eugene Levy and his son that wrote it, and it's about this rich family that they lose all their money because whoever their business manager embezzled money or something like that, and so they own this small town that's the only asset they have is a small town called Schitt's Creek, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's very tiny, and so they live there at the hotel, and it's kind of like them trying to get back to high society or get back on their feet or it's a big fish out of water kind of show, but it's hilarious. Catherine O'Hare plays the mom, and it's fun. I will say it took about 5 episodes. Once I got to the 5th episode, I was in it. First 4 episodes are kind of weird, but once we got through it, we powered through the 4 seasons on Netflix, and there's even more I think airing right now. But yeah, if you're looking for a comedy, you're looking for something on Netflix to watch. I think you both would really enjoy this. It's got some funny moments, and each character is very has their own personality. So I highly recommend it.
So upcoming for me, I want to see the movie Crawl. That's the alligator horror movie.
Alligator in the water. Yep.
Yeah, I want to check out Stuber. And, of course, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's the new Quentin Tarantino film. I live for his art. And on television, The shows that I'm raving about: Big Little Lies, Euphoria, City on a Hill, Claws, Queen Sugar, and Dark on Netflix. And Steven, I did finally watch When They See Us, the interview.
Oh yeah,
very, very, very powerful.
It was. It was.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys?
That's it for me.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for letting us know what to spend our money on, what not to. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk next Monday.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right. We're back after this.
I've never been one to hate, but when I think of all you did when you was all up in my crib, it kinda made me feel away. Now I feel away. I had your back since day one, I never let you hit the ground, but you was really kinda selfish, should've known you was a clown. You was real sneaky with it, always going through my phone. I hope you found what you was looking for, cause now I'm really gone. And I'm never looking back now, cause that shit was whack. You was really talking crazy, even tried to call me lazy. You forget who feeding you, you forget who getting food. Should've let your ass stop, cause I wasn't in the mood, but I tried to play it cool, then you thought I was a fool. Trying to be someone you're not, yeah, I call you. Worry about everyone else, you need to worry about yourself. Can't even pay your own car. Damn, I thought you was a star. You was flexing for the gram, but I don't even give a damn, cause I'ma call you on your shit. Yeah, I'ma call you on your shit. Cause, yeah, you a stupid ass nigga. You was always fucking broke when you walked through the door. Should've known you was a joke. You a fucking joke. Yeah, you a stupid ass nigga. You was always fucking broke when you walked through the door. Should've known you was a joke. You a fucking joke. You was feeling insecure. Didn't think that your love was pure. Yeah, I text another nigga, cause I thought that he was realer. Taking him out my phone, how the fuck you figure? When we went to the club, you ain't had the cash, so I had to make sure your friends let you pass. Yeah, that shit was never whack. You was really close-minded, couldn't live with that. And if I want to be honest, I just want my cash back. How could you sleep on me? Always looking right, and I keep my body tight, yeah. I probably would've never spilled your tea, but now it's time for me to let the whole world see that you ain't shit. You never was, you never will be. Oh. Yeah, you a stupid ass nigga. You was always fucking broke when you walked through the door. Should've known you was a joke. You a fucking joke. Yeah, you a stupid ass nigga. You was always fucking broke when you walked through the door. Should've known you was a joke. You a fucking joke.
All right, what's going on, y'all? This is Ricardo Grimm haunting the airwaves right now. You listening to the Stephen Knight Show. Hey, don't go to sleep without saying your prayer.
Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week. Shout out to Katreese Barnes for joining us. Continued success to you and all that you have going on. Listen, y'all, thank you as always. Sleep well, and we'll talk again next Monday. Good night.
Tonight, as long as on me, everything's gonna be alright.